Welcome into 2025, the first ever episode of Power 5 Picks in the new year. We have another college football playoff game. This is the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia, between number 5 Texas and number 4 Arizona State. Texas, once again, we see ourselves with a massive favorite, 12.5 points. Over under this game is sitting at 51. God, another situation of, I think, a team that's completely outclassed. We have Arizona State, who was projected, great story, projected last in the Big 12, ends up winning it all, destroys Iowa State in the Big 12 championship game. Their running back is one hell of a player. I think they're very similar to Boise State and kind of becoming America's sweetheart, America's little bandwagon team. Are they going to be enough to cover? Are they going to be enough to hang with Texas? That's going to be the big question. I do have some concerns about Texas. You know, their strength of record is a little bit questioning and concerning. Obviously, 2 losses to this on the season, both losses coming to the same team in Georgia. And besides that, they have a couple of decent wins, but they don't have a really big statement win. But then you can look at Arizona State, and they went through the Big 12. I know they had a great year in the Big 12, but it's the Big 12. It's not SEC football. I once again am going to send it to you because I do have a feeling on this play, but I think I don't know. I'd like to hear your opinion first. If you do see Ethan's record here, it is far superior than my record on this show in college football this year. So I do trust him a little bit more than my own opinion. So I'm going to be a little biased and send it to you to try to get a little bit more of a read on this game.
Yeah, so mentioned it in the Penn State video yesterday. If Penn State does blow out Boise State, like you and I both predicted, I think that's going to give some value to Arizona State here. I think Texas is going to get hammered. I think this gets up over 2 touchdowns. And I'm going to take a stab at Arizona State plus the points. My only loss in the college football playoff on our videos was fading Texas last round of the playoff. I did give out Clemson plus the points. Turned out I hated it. I ended up betting Texas, so I do apologize for that. I liked Texas going into the video and then thought I got to give out an underdog, so I picked Clemson. But yeah, it was, I don't know. I turned out not to like Clemson as much, so I apologize if anyone jumped on Clemson because of that. But I do kind of lean Arizona State, and my reasoning is kind of hard to get behind, but Texas, if they can get past Arizona State, which as a 12.5 point favorite, you should, they're, in my opinion, going to be playing the future winner of the college football playoff, whether it be Oregon or Ohio State. Whoever wins that game, I think, goes on to win it all. And I think Texas has a fair feeling that that could happen as well. So it's tough to say there's a look ahead because especially you don't even know the team that you're looking ahead to. But I do think they could put a little bit of focus on some Big Ten football, maybe some things that Oregon and Ohio State have in common, and maybe watch their first matchup. Just put a little bit of effort towards that game. Or if nothing else, if Texas gets up late, 17 points, 14 points with 4 minutes left, 3 minutes left, they might just play for the next week, leave the back door wide open for Arizona State. Or if they get up big, in the second quarter, up 20 points, they might want to go a little bit more bland, not show so many tricks, and kind of save that for their next round. So I think there is some value on Arizona State. I do think, like you said, great story, great year, but the preseason prediction to finish last in the Big 12, I just think Texas could kind of think this is going to be a cakewalk because of that and because of the lack of teams that Arizona State has really played here. So, yeah, I think Texas ultimately wins the game. But like you mentioned, I'm still just not super sold on Texas. I feel like something's flawed. I don't know if it's maybe the Quinn Ewers, Arch Manning. Like there's something there. I don't really know. I'm just not a big believer on Texas. I don't think they really have what it takes to go win the national championship. But yeah, I think they advance in this one, but I do think if Arizona State isn't covering most of the game, I think the back door is going to be wide open. So, yeah, give me Arizona State. I would wait, though, see how that Penn State game turns out, because if they win by 20-plus points, I'm sure public's going to pour in on Texas.
Yeah, I'm glad I listened to you because I also liked Arizona State, so it does kind of increase my confidence on this game. Arizona State, Boise State, very similar situations, playing teams that are much better than them, very similar spreads as well. I think Boise State is just a little bit more loved team, a little bit more public team. Arizona State's starting to become that team, but for throughout the year, they've kind of just been very under the radar. Everyone's talking about Genty, everyone's talking about Boise. Their only loss being 3 points to Oregon, whereas Arizona State kind of came to rise late, and I think that's going to be do well for betting. And like you said, I would love for Penn State to blow out Boise, so then we would get hopefully some line movement in favor of Texas. But yeah, I'm just at the end of the day, I'm just not sold on Texas, and Arizona State continues to just hang in games. I think they're the grittiest team left in this college football playoff. I think they love being the underdog. Boise State, yes, they were underdogs to Oregon. Besides that, I think they were a favorite in every single game. That's not the case for Arizona State. Arizona State has won multiple games this year as underdogs. They've always been overlooked. I like Arizona State. If this were to be the one really big upset of the college football playoff, I think it would be this game. I think Arizona State potentially will have a chance to win it or tie it at the end of regulation this game. So I will take the 12.5. Hopefully this gets up to 2 touchdown spreads. I don't want to say I'm calling for an Arizona State money line win, but I seriously think they're going to have a chance to win it or tie it at the end of this game. I think it's going to be a 1-possession game. Love Arizona State. I'll take them at the plus 12.5. I'm not going to get brave enough to take a money line, but I maybe could see it happening. Texas is one of those teams, when you lose to the same team twice and that's your only loss in the year, it's really just hard for me to figure you out. And yeah, I'm just not sold. I'm not sold on Texas. So give me Arizona State at the plus 12.5. I like it quite a bit. You having them as well boosted my confidence, so thank you for that. We do have 2 more college football playoff games today. A phenomenal game up next, Ohio State, Oregon. Another phenomenal game, Notre Dame, Georgia. A lot of college football, a lot of bets to be made, a lot of money to be made. We also do previews on every single bowl game as well. We have a couple more bowl games after these playoff games on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So make sure you stay tuned to our channel for those predictions and bets and previews. Until then, guys, enjoy the new year and enjoy the game. Hope you guys can make some money. We'll see you in the next episode.
Happy New Year.
You better start listening to the Better in Green podcast. You will not regret it. Trust me, trust me, trust me. And hey, I'm Dean Blandino.
Welcome to Better in Green, eh? To Better in Green, eh? To Better in Green, eh? Listening to cash out, that's what it's all about. Come on, let's make cash now. We always on spot and we cover old spot from the bottom to the top. Hey, shout out to Ethan, shout out to Wyatt, shout out to Ben. Welcome to our podcast. Better in Green.